Hello everyone and welcome to the special Clanfolk video that I wanted to put out quickly, just something that's quick. Um, and I'm putting this up because Andrew, the developer, he put out a poll on Steam, and it's probably on Discord too, but I saw it on Steam, about priorities and how he wanted to know how the players of the game think the priority system works in this game. Because apparently people are, there's some frustration there with the priority system and people not understanding how things are getting done or why things are not getting done. So I thought it would be fun to just do a short little video. Hopefully it's short. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to get through it. But I thought it would be fun to like do a video response to that poll, and kind of go over my answers to the poll and how I think the system works, and like just give a little bit more insight on the skill system and the priority system. So okay, we are here with Peter and Sophia. They will be helping helping in this helping with this poll. All right, so the first question is number one. Priority 1 is equal to a very important task, or priority 10 is equal to a very important task. So this was easy. This is an easy question, right? We all know that if you set something to priority 10, that is very important. I mean, it's clearly, it's worded clearly here. Like if you are in this priority boost, if you're trying to like, this is not a priority boost, but if you are making the priority 10, it says raise priority more important. It's quite clear in the game. So 10 is the most important, where 0 is the least important. It says it right there on the thing. So yeah, and I think that I like that is that way. I know that some people find it to be kind of backwards, right? Because in a lot of games 1 would be highest priority and 10 would be lowest. So maybe that's throwing people off, but for me, 10 is fine. 10 being the highest priority is fine. It works. It's just, you know, I guess it is a bit different from how some other games are. Okay, I'm gonna pause. That was the first one. So second question, it is kind of a long one, and actually, do I have this set? No. Maybe I should have had that set. It's fine. Let's fast forward a bit so that somebody can go set that trap. Okay. It takes quite a while for it to get done. All right, let me we can still go over this question. So the next question is, and let me look at the skills here. I'm going to look at Peter, because I'm kind of using Peter as my main person. I was kind of going over this before I started this video, so I turned off these skills for Sophia so that she doesn't get involved. But okay, the second question, assume cooking skill at the top, which is what I have, crafting skill under cooking, which I have, and then haul is at the very bottom, which I have. So those are the skills in that order, and then you have all the other skills in the middle. Okay, so it says assume that the cooking skill is at priority 2. Cook eel task priority 2, and then over here, if I have them craft something, so I have, you know, craft some flutes, right? Priority 10. Okay, and then haul He's already hauling. What is he hauling? He's hauling branches. Okay, if I put this haul logs at priority 10, what order do I think Peter is going to do these tasks, right? Now, for me, I know, or for me, this is what I think. I think Peter will cook the eel first, make the stone axe, and then pick up well, not the stone axe, the flute. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the the thing. But he will cook the eel first. I don't have any eel available. I should have been better prepared. But he will cook the eel first. Then he will make the flutes. Then he will pick up the logs in that order. But it also depends, okay? Because the hauling system is a bit different. So let's see what he's gonna do, because he's hauling branches now. And I don't have any eels available. So once he's done hauling these branches, he should make the flute next. This is what I think. And we're gonna see right now. Yeah, so he's gonna make the flute next. And then once the flute is done, he's gonna go and pick up this pile of logs first, because I made it priority 10, and then he will get these logs. This is how I think it works, right? Oh yeah, I had to make 2. All right, let's go, Peter. Okay. See? Yes. That is how that works. So for B, I didn't even read the answers to the questions, but it is number 1. No, I mean number 2, my bad. It's not number 1, it is number 2. All tasks within the highest priority skill are always completed first. Then all tasks of the next highest priority skill are completed. Cook, craft, haul. That is how it is, because here in the skill window, cook, craft, haul, that is the order here in the skill tree. So regardless of what the priority boost is, well, not boost, I gotta stop saying priority boost. Regardless of how the priority of the task here, the skill tree trumps this, right? So since cooking is first, I don't have any eels, but cooking is first. If there were eels, he would have cooked the eels first, even though the priority is 2. And he did the flute second, because even though the priority was higher, right? A higher priority to do this at 7, he still would do the second, because it is the second skill on his skill tree. And then the hauling last, because hauling is at the bottom. Okay. The hauling system is a bit different though for straw and things of that nature, I find, because I don't have them set now, but I've noticed that if I set them to harvest, sometimes they will stop harvesting and haul in the middle back this way, and then go back hauling. And I think that system was put in place just to make sure that your straw is just not laying around on the ground waiting for someone to haul it at the end, because people usually don't change hauling up high. But okay, on to the next thing. I don't want this video to be super long. C. Okay, the next question, it says, I use many priority boosts at once, more than 10, or I use few priority boosts at once, less than 10. So I use less than 10 priority boosts. I know that the priority boost is an override of the skills. So let me explain. Let's do let's set all of these to be cut down, right? And let me set some berries here, right, to be gathered. And let me look at the skills. Okay, let's gather. Okay, so I'm gonna set what I was looking at. Let me actually explain what I was doing. Okay, gathering, of course, berries is a gathering job, and cutting trees is a lumber job. I'm just gonna put them at the top just to make it easier. Because the skill, if you look at the skill tree here, is not very clear in the game, but this skill tree is a priority list. That's how I look at it. It's more of a to-do list, right? And the ones at the top, these are the first item on the to-do list. This is what they're going to be looking to do first, and then it goes down from there. So when your clan folk, when they're looking for things to do, for Sophia, the first thing she's going to look to do is gather. And for Peter, the first thing he's going to do, he's going to look for lumber jobs. And once they go through all of the jobs that are available and they don't see these anymore, it jumps to the next thing for them. You know, so, and so on and so forth. And since I have these turned off, the next job that Sophia is going to look for are hunting jobs. You know, Peter is going to look for cooking and crafting, you know, so on and so forth. So this is a to-do list, a priority list, not just their skills. Okay. So with that out of the way, let's get this started. So for how I have this set up, Sophia is going to go and gather, and Peter is going to cut these stumps down. Okay. We see this happening. Peter is cutting stumps and Sophia is gathering berries. Okay. Now, priority boost. Priority boost is this in the middle. Okay. You can click the priority boost button and it turns that 10. It turns to 10 because I could make this 10, right? Right. It turns that 10 into an 11. Right. It's like, okay, this is the most important job in the world for them. Okay. And the first person, even though I've set Peter's lumber higher in priority in my skill tree, the first person that is done with their task will clear this stump. The first person. So looking at this, Sophia should do it. Is she gonna do it? No, she's not doing it. So the closest person, right? So is it the closest person? Because Peter is doing it. Let me see what happens. Interesting. Oh, do I not have her set to it? This might be my problem. So I need to, yeah. This is my bad. Because I had it turned off. So that wasn't a good example. It was a very good example because I had it turned off. My bad, people. But anyway, now she should come down and do it. See, she stopped gathering. So now she's gonna come down and cut down this tree, right? And then Peter's gonna do this tree, But if I start priority boosting these, it's going to be what's closest, right? What's going to be the next closest job? Because they don't know what is more important at this point. The importance is the same for them. So they're going to do what's close, and then they're going to go and do the other job. So that is how the priority boosts work. And that's why I don't use it as much, because I mean, it really is just for emergencies, right? Like if you need a bunch of wood or a bunch of berries or something before winter, it's going to die tomorrow. You want to priority boost your berries so that all of your clan will go and get berries. They will stop doing all other jobs that are set, and then they will go and do it. It is not a good idea to priority boost everything, because it negates the priority boost. It means nothing at that point. It's just back to the same for everything, right? You know, they're all the same importance at that point. So it negates the use of it, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I hope that's a better explanation of the priority boost and how it works. And the priority boost is when you click the button in the middle. That is the priority boost. This is just setting what order you want something to be done, and it doesn't override the skill tree. Okay. Where the priority boost overrides the skill tree, overrides everything. It is, you know, it's an override of what you have set in the skill tree. But if I wanted, you know, Peter to cut down this tree first for some reason, if I set the priority 10, he will cut that tree down first. But it will be Peter and not Sophia. Well, Sophia may do it now because, well, no, she won't, because she's still gathering. But you see, Peter is going and he is cutting down that tree stump first, because I set it as the highest priority over these other tree stumps. And now that all the gatherings that I set is done, now Sophia's going to come down and help cut down the trees. But yeah, so that is how the priority boost works. I don't use it a lot, and I wouldn't recommend using it a lot. Okay. Okay. And we just actually went over the next question as well. Priority boost, find the most important task and do it first, or priority boost, find the closest task and do it first. It finds the closest task. The priority boost cannot tell what is the most important task to you. The priority, if you priority boost it, that is telling the game that it is the most important task. But if you priority boost a bunch of different tasks, it's just going to do what is closest, because your clan doesn't know which one is the most. You just said that all of these are of the same importance, right? If you priority boost all of them, priority boost, these are the most important tasks, all of them. They don't know which one is the most important. They don't know if you priority boost it. Now, a better thing to do is, if you want a certain, like if I was like, okay, this one is most important. This one is most important. It's a little bit, it's clicky. It's more clicky, but now they can tell which ones are the most important. They will cut them down in that order. So that is, to me, but this one is based off of the skill, right? So yeah, so those got cut down first. So that to me is a better solution if you want something to get done before first. This is the most important. Change the priority. Change the priority number. and that would be the most important job. Okay. So that is those two questions. And then the next one is, the best person for the job does the next priority boost, or the next available unit does the next priority boost. It is the next available unit. As I said, the priority boost, it does not take the skills tree into account. It is just whoever is available first. That is how it works. It overrides whatever they are doing. Is the number 11 on the skills, they will go, the next available person unit will go and do that priority boost. I don't really have anything. Okay, let's do cooking. How do I have cooking? I think I have cooking. Do I have cooking turned off, or? Yeah, I do. Let's turn it back on. Let's turn cooking back on. So Peter is set to second on cooking, and Sophia is set like way down. Well, not way down, but little ways. Well, actually, let me just turn her all the way down for cooking. And I'm going to priority boost here. Now, Sophia should go cook next, because she's going to be done first. See, yeah, she's going to cook. Even though I put cooking as the last for her, because this is a priority boost. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The priority boost is the next unit available. Whoever's available next will do it, regardless of where the skill is placed in the skill tree. Okay. All right. And then what is the next thing? Units stop work at certain times of day, even if there are tasks to do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. This question, I was like, yes, they do. If you played the game for like a day, you know that at sunset they stop work. Even if they're boosted tasks, they won't do it until sunrise. But if you put them into overwork mode here, they will continue to do tasks until they are done, until you put them back to normal or free time. So you can do that. You can actually boost their work, put them on a priority boost. It trumps everything. They will work until they just pass out. And that's not good. You don't want to do that. You don't want to priority boost them, but you can. If you still have a lot that you need to get done, and it's sunset and everybody is stopping working, but you want them to keep working, you can priority boost your workers, and they will continue working until you put them back on normal mode or free time. Let me turn it off. All right. And what's next? I have under 100 tasks at once on average. I have under 300 tasks at once on average. I have under 1,000 tasks at once on average. I have over 1,000 tasks at once on average. So for me, on average, I have under 300 tasks is how I feel anyway. I know that sometimes it'll say that I have about like 400, 450. Sometimes pushing it, it'll be like 500. And that's usually only very early in the game. And it is usually hauling tasks. So in the way the hauling tasks work is quite interesting, right? So if you look here at the task list, it says that I only have one hauling job. But if you look here, I have all these logs, I have all these branches that's laying around on the ground that needs to be hauled. But the way the hauling system works, it doesn't take into account if you don't have space for things, right? It doesn't take items on the ground into account if there's no space in your stockpile. So even though I have all of these things laying around that needs to be hauled, the task list doesn't reflect that, because my people, they're like, what is this? What is it? I don't have any place to put it, so it's not counted as a task. But let me put down a storage, a branch pile. I'm gonna put down a branch pile, right? Let me do this quickly. Somebody do that, build that up real quick. Okay. Okay. So now she built the branch pile. My hauling went up to 8. Hauling tasks, because now they have space to put these branches. So they're gonna pick up the branches, they're gonna put it in the branch pile, and it's gonna open up space here. And see, my hauling task went up because now it's space. Now it's space, they can put more stuff into the stockpile. So yeah. So for me, when it's like tasks, how many tasks do you usually have on average? I would say under 300 tasks, not counting hauling tasks. Because hauling tasks can pile up quite quickly if you have your storage set up correctly, and those will count as things that need to be done as well. And sometimes, at the beginning of the game, you have just a lot of stuff. You have stone and logs and branches and food and everything just laying around, and it's gonna show on your task list as things that need to be done. So but I usually don't have a lot of active things that I'm telling them to do at once. Okay, so that was that one. And then next, on a scale of 1 to 5, how well do I think this system works, the way it's set up? I think it is a 5. I honestly don't have a lot of problems with the way the system's set up. I understand the system very well. It's not a problem for me at all. So it is a 5. It's still in early access. It's still a lot of stuff. So sometimes it may be a few bugs. I don't even know if I consider things when things are not getting done, if I consider them bugs. Most of the time it's me. Most of the time I didn't set up something correctly, or I moved someone's skill and they're not doing it, and I'm like, what happened? Or I priority boosted something, and I'm like, well, why isn't Peter doing what I told him to do? And the skill was like, that's a priority boost, it doesn't matter. So it's just a bit of, I can understand like people not understanding the skill tree, right? Yeah, so that's it. That was the end of the poll that was put out. But I just wanted to just talk a little bit more. Honestly, I just don't think that the skills is explained very well. I don't remember the tutorial if it is explained what the skill tree does, right? Because if you're coming into the game, does it explain? I don't remember if it does, and honestly, I don't know. And if it does, excuse me, but I don't think it explains very well what the skill tree does, what it is. Because you can look at this in most games, the skill tree is just the skill tree. It is not also the priority list as well. I'm trying to think. Think of like RimWorld, how it's set up. Because you do have like your skills. You can set like what priority by number. It is different. I think it's just not very clear what this does, right? Like, this is a priority to-do list. Like, this is the top and then this is the bottom. If you don't know that, if you go into the game and you don't know that you can move these skills around, and that based off of where they are on the list is how they do them in the game, I think that should be clearer. It should be more importance put onto the fact that that's how it works, right? So I saw a lot of people like, I don't even touch the skills. I don't even change them. I don't, or I just put their like skill at the top, and the one that they don't like the most at the bottom, and then I just let it go. And that in itself can add to frustration, right? Because this is not the skill tree. Most of the time when you first start the game, is randomly put into order. So you can have two people at the top. If you don't have two people and they're both set to lumber first, and you have a bunch of lumber jobs, but you also want somebody to cook, they're not going to cook until they finish cutting the trees down. And if you don't know that you need to change your skills around over here, then you're going to be frustrated, right? Like, I set somebody to cook, and you're frustrated, and you're like, okay, well, let me change the priority so they can do it 10. Somebody can do this now. I want them to stop cutting the tree. I want them to go cook. But if you don't change their skill in here, they're still going to continue to cut the trees down until they're done. Then they will do this. And you're like, okay, well, let me just priority boost it, right? They won't do it. Go do it now. And you priority boost, and somebody will stop cutting the tree and go and cook. And you're like, okay, priority boost is what I need to do. That's how I get them to do what I want them to do now. And then it's just a spiral, right? it's just a spiral, because now you're going to be like, okay, I want them to go and plant reeds. So I need to priority boost plant reeds so it can get done. So they can stop cutting the trees. I want them to cut the trees, but I want them to do these reeds first. So you priority boost the reeds, and then they stop cutting the tree, and they're doing the reeds, and you're like, that's how it works. That's how I get them to do what I want them to do now. But that is not that is not a good plan, because all your other things that you need to get done will not get done, because they will be planting reeds, right? So I think that it should just be a little bit more information here about how the skill tree works. Maybe like there's a lot of open space here. Like, maybe just a little something that's like, this is a priority list. Set your skills in from top to bottom of how you want your clan to complete the skills. But anyway, this is supposed to be like a quick little video. I don't want it to be too long. I hope that makes sense. I think the priority list is the priorities, the skills and everything is quite clear, quite easy to use. Just understanding how it works will make your gameplay so much easier, so much better. So, okay, let me jump off, and I will see you guys later.